best heavyweight, the best professional wrestling discussion on the internet, World Wrestling Entertainment, TNA Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and much more. This, ladies and gentlemen, is In the Hot Seat with your host, Fortminorproject.
Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome to this week's edition of In the Hot Seat. And as always, I got a great show lined up for you guys. And also, as always, I got a brand new guest joining me at this time. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Big Mike from Wrestling Rants and Reviews, and definitely thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, no problem, man. It's my pleasure. Alright, pretty much how we work things around here, it's basically in the way of a Q&A session, and, I ask you a couple of things of what's going on in wrestling or what has happened in the past, and you give your thoughts, and I'll give mine. I got, 4 questions, and if you want to give your thoughts, to anything else towards the end, you can definitely do that.
Perfect, sounds good.
Alright. So the first thing I got here, and that is, which superstar to you who has never been a world champion should be a world champion, whether it be WWE or TNA?
Well, this is kind of a good question for what's going on in WWE right now, but I'm going to answer for TNA and WWE. I think in TNA, because there could be a world champion there, hold that belt well and do the company well if he had the title. Yeah. He's definitely one of the originals, been there for a long time, great entertainer, great wrestler, and I think he could have a great match with anybody, especially in the main event. For the WWE World Champ, now you said someone that's never held it. Well, I'm going to say Christian, even though I know he just held it.
Okay.
But he only held it for 2 days.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go about and say Christian again. I did have someone else in mind, but because of the controversy that's going on right now, and everybody knows that Christian kind of got screwed, you might say, I think he should be world champion still. He's another one that's paid his dues. And I think he could really carry the company on his back because he's definitely got the fan support. And I think it would be fresh to SmackDown, especially and to the WWE, with him having new feuds, even if it had been with Mark Henry or Randy Orton. But I think he definitely should have the title back and held it a lot longer than he did.
Yeah, it just really sucks how that happened like that. I don't really understand the full story of what happened with Christian. Hopefully by SmackDown we'll get at least some sort of full answer about it. Right now it just seems, pretty damn stupid, and it was a wrong move for WWE doing that. We waited for so long as well as Christian to finally win it, and he wins it, and he loses it in pretty much 2 days. So hopefully he'll get it back. He's definitely one of my favorite wrestlers, so we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, Christian will get his rematch. Maybe at Over the Limit, that too could be another good thing, hopefully, but we'll have to wait and see.
That's for sure.
Another guy, I got a couple of guys here, actually, that could be, a champion that have never been champion. Del Rio is another guy. He has some time to, get the championship. I know he's still pretty new, so maybe by SummerSlam, maybe he'll get the world title, the WWE title. So that will be another guy I would like to see champion.
Yeah, I think if they would have left him on SmackDown, and he could have beat Christian at Extreme Rules and become champion, Del Rio.
Yeah.
And it would have been better than giving the belt to Christian for 2 days.
Yeah.
And also, I think he would have had a great feud with Randy Orton. If they want to put the belt on Orton, instead of giving it to Christian for 2 days and having Orton take it away right away, if Del Rio would have stayed on SmackDown and won it, I think he could have had a greater feud with Orton, with Del Rio being the champion, at least probably for a couple pay-per-views.
Yeah, I can definitely see that if that would happen. And then, with that turning around with that. So, yeah, definitely can see that. Another guy who's pretty much, stuck in the mid-card, and that is Kofi Kingston. I think, I would like to see him, as world champion. He kind of was going for that before, but I guess that was pretty much stopped, and now he's the new United States champion. So I think it would be kind of cool to have Kofi Kingston as a champion. Good fit for the world title, since he's basically one of the TNA originals. So I think that would also be cool to have, because Arian won the title there as well.
Right.
Alright, the next thing I got here, and with this, which WWE pay-per-views would you like to see have come back, and which WWE pay-per-views would you like to see, go?
I would like to see the Money in the Bank get dropped,
Okay.
and the same with the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Okay.
I'd like to see get dropped. Because I believe Money in the Bank was something special at WrestleMania since they brought it to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Back at WrestleMania 21, I believe it was. It was special. It was something to look forward to, and it added that extra special match. Everybody looked forward to it, and you were guaranteed another good match on WrestleMania. So I think if they took the pay-per-view away, they could put that back to WrestleMania.
Okay.
And if they dropped Hell in a Cell, they could bring back Armageddon, which was always featured a Hell in a Cell match anyways.
Yeah.
So if they brought back Armageddon and dropped both those, I think it would be a good replacement. And I know it sounds bad dropping 2 for 1, but WWE has definitely too many pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's 2 in a month, or within like 5 weeks with each other, there's 2 pay-per-views. And there's really no time for build-up for feuds. They don't seem, I don't know, they don't seem worth watching for. If you got if you say you got like a 3-week build-up, it just doesn't have that special feeling when you see them in the main event on a pay-per-view. So if you had less pay-per-views, you'd have more time. You'd have more time to build things.
Yeah, with that, I do have a pay-per-view that should come back. I thought it was a pretty cool pay-per-view, which was Vengeance. I think that actually might be coming back. I know that was in the vote to have a new pay-per-view in a way, and somehow that name was added on there. So if they could bring that back, I thought that was a pretty cool, summer pay-per-view, having, the Vengeance from, towards WrestleMania in a way, pretty much. So I think that was cool.
Yeah, Vengeance, that was a good pay-per-view as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing I have here that should be let go, and that is bragging rights. It's pretty much, the same thing as Survivor Series, so it really isn't needed, in my opinion. So I think, bragging rights should be let go.
Yeah, I agree with that also. Yeah.
Alright, as I close this here. Okay. The next thing I got here, and what are your thoughts on, should championships be unified in the WWE?
I believe they should. When I first came to YouTube and started doing videos, I forget what episode it was, but if you guys are interested to look back, it's talk about brand extensions, and that's actually the video name.
Okay.
And I talk about unifying the belts, and I think it would make better, just because you'd have more time to, like I said, to feud. You'd have more. What was I going to say? You'd have more time. You'd have more contenders, and this way you'd drop the belt to different people instead of just swapping it back and forth.
Yeah.
Because being on one brand, it's always going from, like, say, John Cena to The Miz, to John Cena to The Miz, to Randy Orton, to whoever.
Yeah.
If you only had one belt, then you could share between more people that could be number one contenders.
Yeah, with that, with the championships being unified, I don't really like it too much. I was kind of a little bit worried since the United States Championship was on SmackDown once, Sheamus was drafted, so I kind of thought they were going to unify it a little bit, but, that didn't happen since Kofi Kingston won that title back and brought it back to Raw, so, I was pretty happy about that. The championships should be really, to me, just be single championships, so everyone has a chance to at least fight for something, so I think it's more better to have it that way as well.
That's for sure. I thought they were going to unify them too with the U.S. title, Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And I also thought maybe Del Rio, if he won, they would unify the heavyweight championship with the WWE championship.
Oh, yeah,
But it didn't happen. Maybe in the future, But again, I don't want to keep plugging my stuff. But check out my brand extensions video. It's a very interesting topic. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, definitely I checked it out, and it should be a good video. Okay, the last thing I pretty much got here, and what are your thoughts on Michelle McCool leaving? Do you see this as a full-time thing, or do you think, she'll be coming back?
It might be temporary. I really think that she might just want to be a wife and a mother, get off the road.
Right.
She's not young anymore, but she's not ancient. She's at the right age right now. She's in her prime. She might want to have a child. Taker might want to have a kid. So who knows? It could be a temporary thing so she can start a family. But then again, if she does start a family, she may feel that she just wants to stay home. So time will tell. It was a surprise, really.
Yeah.
There had been no talk of it, It was like the week before the pay-per-view. They're like, yeah, it's gonna be, she's gonna be in her last match, and I think WWE that's a loss to the WWE because at the beginning I didn't think she was that great, but she definitely became one of the top female wrestlers in the WWE. So
yeah, I don't actually see her going for that long. I can see her, coming back. If maybe she'll come back part-time, who knows at this point. But I definitely see Michelle McCool coming back, and it really isn't too much of a loss, but it is a loss. But we did gain, karma out of that. So I'm also looking forward to seeing how Layla's going to do on her own, since McCool is now a split. I'm pretty sure she's going to still, take care of the Undertaker as of right now, and do other things at this point. Now that she's gone from wrestling-wise. So like I said, I'm sure we'll probably see Michelle McCool back. Maybe at the end of the year or something like that. So that's basically it with that. That's pretty much it with all the topics that I have for you. Is there anything else that you would like to give your final thoughts on, or anything like that?
No matter what you watch in wrestling, just keep supporting. If you got local indies in your area, definitely support them, because that's where your superstars of tomorrow come from.
Right.
Unless you're in WWE, you just get handpicked because you're either someone's son or a football player. But support your local indies. Seriously, that's where they all come from. And keep watching everybody on YouTube in the YWC, right from your Fortminorprojects to me to 420 Goonies to the Stevie Breaches to anybody in the IWWS group. Watch everybody that you can, because everybody's opinions matter. And that's all I can really say. Support everybody, because everybody has an opinion. Everybody's opinion may give you a different outlook, and who knows, you may learn something from somebody. So give everybody a fair chance, and that's it. Support YouTube and support YWC.
Alright, I thank you for coming on in. It's been a pleasure. I will definitely leave a link down below for everyone to check you out, and as well as the other channels account too as well. So appreciate you coming in, and that about does it for this week's episode of In the Hot Seat. And until then, I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.